Hi, thank you so much for being here. Welcome or welcome back. So today I'm going to be taking you along my preset for my commonplacing bullet journal hybrid for 2024 that I am starting in 2023. So if you're up for it, I hope you stick around. So I have talked a little bit about this notebook in a few videos. I have an unboxing video where I talked a little bit about my process of finding the perfect notebook and cover for my commonplacing notebook, so I will link that below, as well as my thoughts and my approach to what the commonplacing notebook is. So I will link those two below in case you're interested in taking a look at those. But now I wanted to take some time to preset my actual notebook. I haven't really done anything other than pen testing and highlighters testing, so I want to kind of share with you the process of setting it up. Kind of wanted to add in here my favorite markers and perhaps have an option here for the most color codes or colors that I use for my color coding. However, I will be using my color coded dots or color coding dots to index information as well. So what I will do is I think I'm going to do a spread with the key colors and what they mean. That way I can have something to refer back to and maybe have it out here just for easy access or something like that. I don't know exactly how to do this just yet, but these are just for rolls of a pack of 6 that I got. The other 6 I will give them away at the end of the year with my planner giveaway, so I hope that you stay tuned for that, because again, every year I do a giveaway of a planner. Usually I try to do a Helping 2 Weeks giveaway, so if you're into that one, I definitely invite you to stay tuned for it. So yeah, these are the colors that I chose to keep. Basically, I think that I will use red for YouTube. It just makes sense in my head. And I'm thinking that the light beige will be anything work related. And then I think that brown will be anything affiliate related. I have my own Amazon shop and everything, so that's something that I want to kind of focus on this new year. And I do want to have some research information and resources that I can refer back to often, so I'll definitely have to have a color code for that. And then personal information, I think I will choose pink. However, I don't see a pink in here, so I'll have to maybe rethink my roles. Maybe I'll switch this one for another one that has pink, because the other pink one is this one, but I think it's too close to red, so I'm not sure. I will decide that later on, but that's the idea there. So I have my color dots for my indexing. I have my area for my markers and stuff. This is a notebook that I will definitely be using every single day. However, the markers that I use on most of my planners, because right now I use my cousin for memory keeping and some planning as well, and I do color coding here sometimes. I do what else do I do? I have my A6, which I have been using as my Book July kind of planner, and I wanted to use it as my common planner, a common placing planner for the next month, but I decided that I was going to go ahead and jump into my A5, so I don't know what I will use with that one just yet. I do some color coding in here, but I only use 2 colors. So what I'm trying to say is that if I save these markers in my commonplacing notebook, then I have to kind of open this one all the time to reach for them. So I have to decide what I will do. However, when I'm planning, I can always just kind of take this out and have it handy with the most used colors that I use. So yeah, so let's pretend that that's what's gonna happen. So basically what I use most of the time is my beige, I use pink, and I use blue. Sometimes I use gray, but these are the ones that I use the most, so I will definitely have these handy. Maybe I will just get me another set. These are the beige I have used so much that it's almost drying, so I'll definitely need another one. So maybe I'll just get me 2 sets or another set, and then I'll have a few in here, and then I'll have a few in my pouch that I carry with me pretty much everywhere. What other color do I use? I use, let's just add, well, I don't have my gray, but I have purple, which I don't necessarily use all the time, but let's just have it there just for visual. So this is something that I will have. Let's see if it fits here. It should fit. That's what it belongs. So it goes in here. And then let's say that I use my Klena. Not the one that I'll use. I think I'm gonna go with my A5, although that's the one that shows the most on it kind of ghosts a little, but I think that I prefer that one. And then my Sharpie pen for my sharp dark lines. And the good thing about this side of the holders is that if you have like Tombow markers or something like that, let's see, I have these that are a little bit longer, you still have plenty of space here to hold them in place. You can only hold 2 at a time, but it still works, I guess. So that's what I'll do. I'll definitely just have my marker, my pen, my most used pen, and my outlining or darker pen there. So, but I will use my Klena 0.5, which I don't even know where it is. Yeah, I do. There's one right here. So this is the one that I will use on here. So I'll definitely have this one here. And what else? Eventually I will have, see, I can just put this on the side and use it like that. So yeah, I like this little thing. And then eventually I will have like other stickers and information or whatever cards in there. Maybe I'll cut a part of this. Let's see if I can do that, because you can go like this and then just have part of the roll like this. See, it has some space there. I think this basically none of that. Never mind, don't worry about it. I thought it was every so often you will have that break there to cut it, but that's not the case. But what I do want to now is if I can just roll it again. Oh, it's not empty, it's just that the dots are in here. Right? Yeah, that's what happens. But it has like tape there, so but yeah, I would just kind of have like a piece of it and then replace it as I go. So I will have something like this, and maybe I'll have it inside a cardboard or something, so it's not bent or anything, and it don't, and the dots don't get messed up. And I will sort them there, and that way I can have a bunch of them handy when I'm indexing the information that I'm entering. And so yeah, that's the idea there. And then what I'll do is, I think I will do my index in here, and then I will do, no, I think I'm gonna do my intentions page in here. So I want to have like an intentions page where I remind myself of the goal of this notebook, and then I will go into my index, and then I can just go ahead and start with entering information. So I don't have anything like collections or anything like that. Even though this is a bullet journal, I guess I approach it that way, as a hybrid commonplace bullet journal hybrid. It's not like I'm gonna be having collections. It's just me having fun with it, having resources and information that I need to refer back to, or that I know I will refer back to at some point, but also having other details and information and memories that I want to at some point check back and look back at yeah, eventually. So I don't need to have like a pre-set up like very intricate setup. So I think I'm gonna leave this one alone, and then my intentions will be here, and then my index. And for index, I'm just again want to do this super easy. Let me just grab this, and I'm gonna use this one as a guide, just to kind of have a guide for a line here in the center. And I think I'm gonna get me another one of these. I saw one of jet pens that you can open and make it longer. Sometimes I find myself needing a longer one, so I think I might go with that. I do know that it has to be clear so I can see what I'm doing. I do enjoy and love the golden ones, but they are just too dark, so you can't see through them. So yeah, I'm using the guide behind the page to divide the page in the center, and I'm just gonna go ahead and leave a space in the top. That way I can just add a title or something if I want to. Not necessary, honestly, because I just know that this is gonna be my index. See, like right now I could have used a longer ruler. Right, that works. And let's just do the same here. And I'm using a Sharpie pen. As you can see, it's very faint, so you cannot see a harsh ghosting, and I love that about this paper. That's why I chose this notebook. It was the most expensive of all of the ones that I decided to try or to order to unbox, and the most expensive one, but definitely worth it. Okay, that works for me. And then I can just add index. The idea is that I will have a column of indexed information. So for the grid, I will use the smallest side of the grid, and just write the whether that is the page or the color. So I will do for example, I will add the color code. So if I am entering, in my case I will use red for YouTube. So if I'm entering any information about YouTube, research related resources, or anything like that that I know I have to refer back to, I will add a red dot, and then I will add the entry towards the right on the column. That way, if I am flipping through the notebook, if I'm just going like this, I can just go ahead and see the dots and see which one I'm looking for quickly. If it's not in this page, and I'll go to the next one, and it's just easier in my eyes to find out information faster. So the dots will be on this side, and then since there's two columns in here, I do have to open most of the spread to see this next column. But at least if I have you know, information in here, I can find it faster. I think that's my thought. And then on this side of the page, the dots will be towards the right of the page. That way, when I'm flipping like this, I can see them faster towards the right. So it will be in the opposite sides, if that makes sense. So once I start using it, you will see more of this notebook. So definitely keep a lookout for that, because I will do flip throughs and throughout the month, and kind of share what I been adding to my notebook and all the good things. So if you're into the Commonplace Notebook setup, definitely I hope that you come back for those videos. But yeah, the idea is that I will just add the dot color for the key information, and then the information. And then since these pages are not numbered, I will number them, but instead of numbering each one, I think I'm going to order them or number them per section, maybe it depends on how long the section is. So for example, if I start writing in here and I start writing about a specific book, and I have so many passages and things that I want to remember and things that I want to refer back to, and even though they're separated by topics sort of, but it refers to the same book, and I do happen to use 1, 2, 3, 4 pages, then I would just number those together, and then that will be indexed together, if that's making sense. So again, once I start using it, I'll have more visual samples to show you, but I'm hoping that explaining it like this is simple enough, or I'm explaining it correct. So so yeah, that's the idea there. Now I want to do like a key section for my colors. So these 2 pages are going to be my indexing. I'm still debating whether or not to add the word index in here, because again, it's not necessary for it, because I know it is an index, but I just kind of wanted to see it sort of complete. But I'm still not sure yet. So on this other page, I do want to do my color coding and index. So I think that I'm gonna do 1 page for my dots color codes, and then 1 page for my highlighters color codes. And then the idea is that I will do like just like in the center of the page, maybe add the dots, and then write beside it what they belong to, what they mean, and then here do a line with the colors, and inside of it write what they refer to. So I do have to come up with that key legend sort of thing. So, and I haven't really thought about that just yet. So I think I'm gonna take me a few minutes, do that, and then come back to you. Okay, so I'm back. I did a little bit of key color coding setup, and the idea is that this is the setup that I want to start using and hopefully stick to it, because I do want to ensure that the colors refer to the same information throughout the entire notebook. And again, this notebook has 400 pages, so it's a long way to go, and I want to ensure that all the information is organized in a way that it's easy for me to find out again. So what I did was I created the color coding with the dots that I relate to the item that I'm kind of trying to index. So for example, I chose the color that looked more red to me with and then pair that one with YouTube. So anything that I do and note in here that relates to YouTube, whether that is updates on my channel, research information, or resources that I want to reach for again, it will be color coded with the red dot, and that way when I see a red dot, I know that it has to do with YouTube. Then the next one is beige for business and work, brown one is for affiliates, this kind of darker green blue is for books, anything related to books entries, whether that is a summary, my thoughts, my intake, special paragraphs, or information that I find information and useful that I want to refer back to, will be color coded in blue. Then health, anything related with health, whether that is contact information that I know that I have to keep track of, anything that relates to health will be under green, and then the lighter of the blue will be for anything relating to quotes. So I have been reading a few books, and I find that I like highlighting the quotes, and I highlight them because I want to refer back to them at some point, and it kind of resonates to my mindset and my way of living, and I figured that I want to include those in my notebook in here. So I wanted to give it a color that is more soothing and calming, and so yeah, I chose that color. And then on this side of the page, I chose to color code with my markers because if I at some point I do run out of the stickers, which I have plenty of, so it should last me a while, but if I run out, I still want to have some kind of color code system in place. So for the most important ones, I went with pink for personal, blue for family, and purple for homeschool. Homeschool is an area that I have to keep track of for years, so definitely having homeschool information in this notebook will be very beneficial in my case, so I want to include that in here. So this is like my keys, very simple, easy to kind of follow, and once I start adding information, color coding the information with these should be very easy. So now let me just show you how I would divide my very first entry. So actually, I think I'm going to leave a space between those and this, just because in case I wanted to add anything else in there. So again, so far I left the very first page blank because this is the one that is attached to like the binding, so I find it kind of annoying to use. I left the very first page towards the right to enter my intentions for the notebook, which is something that I have to do still. I set up for my index in 2 pages, and then right next to that I went with my color coding for indexing, and now I'm going to leave this 2 pages in case I want to add anything else related to indexing or anything like that. So I'll leave this just in case. I have plenty of pages to work with, so it's fine if I leave those 2 and I never use them, will be just fine. So now for my very first page entry, this is what I will do. I'm not gonna do an entry right now, but I do want to set it up that way you can see how I will do this pretty much all the time. I guess at some point in some entries the setup might be a little bit different, but just to kind of give you an idea, let's see. I'll use the larger grid, just easier to see, just for the division anyways. Actually, you know what, let's use the small one. So I have that in here, so making sure that it is aligned with my page. I will go ahead and I will try to do like some kind of marking on this grid because it looks like I'm going to be using it very often. So maybe just count the lines and do like a darker line. That way I can just go back to it fairly easy. I should do that now. No, I'm not going to do that. So anyways, so it is from the outside in. I'm not counting the very last row. I'm going to count one row inside. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I think I'm going to leave at about 6 rows, and then I'm going to do my division. So it should be around here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 in there. So I'm definitely going to be getting a larger ruler. That way I don't have to do this double line in here, because I hate it when they don't align. So, and then I'm also leaving 2 rows in the top. That way it's not all the way to the top. And 2 rows at the bottom. And there will be my division. So in here I will add the color code if I find that I need to, because I really want to refer to that particular entry. So I will add my dot, and then I will add a summary of what this entry is about. I will do my entry, and once I'm done I will divide it to do my next entry. So my division on this left page will be towards the left. My division on this right page will be towards the right. And again, I'm leaving 6 spaces, 1 row in. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then 2 at the top. And there I have my setup sort of for my first entries. So again, once I start my entry, I do want to make sure that I divide them from entry to entry, because again, I'm not planning on using 1 page per entry. I want to use and utilize as much of my space as possible. That's why I chose to use an A5. So, but I do want to ensure that the information is organized, pretty and fun, and with doodles and whatever it is that I want to add to it, but organized in a way that I can refer back to it often and easier if I have to. So that will be my entry. So again, my dots will be towards the outside of the pages because I do want to ensure that I can find them easy. My entries will be towards the inside of the notebook, and that's pretty much the setup. So once I start using the actual notebook and adding my entries to it and all the fun stuff, I will do a flip through maybe after a few weeks have passed, so I can have plenty of information and pages to show you. But until then, thank you so much for watching this mini pre-setup with me, and until next time, I hope that you have enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching again, and I'll see you next time.